Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Christina, and you are watching behind the scenes of your Marketing Homegirl podcast. So, this is my first video. I was very nervous to post this video because for some things, I'm a perfectionist, like how I look, how does my background look? Am I going to be reading it? Am I going to be talking off the dome? Like, just hella shit. But I just finally decided just to do it. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. You're going to see my whole process on how I record my podcast. So, first, what I did was I actually logged on to anchor.com and I logged into my account just to make sure that, I'm set up properly. I have my podcast microphone here and I have that ready to go. And then after that, I had an idea on what I wanted to talk about. I actually had quite a few ideas, as you can see, but I narrowed it down because I'm this particular topic that I'm going to talk about. I'm just very, I had a lot of things to say about it, and it has to do with everything that's going on in like the world and society, really. In regards to us, people of color, women of color, Black people, Latino people, just in general, So I definitely decided to focus this particular episode on observing as consumers how brands are responding to social and political movements. And I know it's a long ass topic, but I really had a lot to say about it, and I've had conversations with friends and family about how they feel about this topic. So I was able to get different perspectives on this. But I definitely wanted to talk about it more from a business point of view, a marketing point of view, and most of all from a consumer point of view. Because at the end of the day, and I say this a lot, I'm a consumer. I have a business. I also work for an organization. And I understand that I have to uphold, a certain brand, a certain characteristic. Like, I get that. But also, at the end of the day, when I clock out, I am a consumer and I spend all of my hard earned money, almost too much, to be honest with you, back into the community, back to big corporations. And so it's very important for me to understand where those corporations stand when it comes to social and political movements. Now, I know there's certain brands that I cannot control, and it's going to take more of a bigger audience to make a change. And one of them is Target, for example. Like, I absolutely love Target. My kids love Target, but I also understand, you know, the mistakes Target has made. So I get that. That's something that I'm working as a consumer. I don't want to be fake about it and tell you protest Target when I shop at Target. Like, I get that. And that's something that I'm working on. I know a lot of people that don't shop on Amazon. They don't shop at eBay, or they do either or, and that's their choice. I know a lot of people that don't buy certain brands of clothing because they exploit children. I mean, at what point do we cross the line, right? But again, this is just a topic I wanted to talk about. So you're going to see me in the process of me recording my podcast episode. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you guys think. I will be posting this on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And again, it's just something that I procrastinated. I didn't have time to do it. And I now realize that I have to record shit either late at night when my kids are sleeping, or literally find a window in time where I can sneak away, because working from home with kids and then trying to do a podcast is just, it's just one more thing added to my plate. And I was definitely looking forward to recording this episode. So again, I know I'm rambling on. I'm going to start my podcast episode now, so just bear with me. And I took some notes because I definitely wanted to make sure that I got a hold of all the topics that I wanted to talk about. Not get a hold, but to talk about the certain topics I wanted to talk about. So again, you're gonna see me kind of going back and forth as to what I want to say, but here we go. Here goes nothing, you guys. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Christina, and you are listening to your Marketing Homegirl podcast. On this episode, episode 13, I'm going to talk to you guys about how brands are responding to social and political movements, and most importantly, how us as consumers are reacting to their quote unquote statements and messages and decisions, etc. So let's get to it because I have hella shit to say. Number one, how are brands responding? So I'm sure you guys seen on social media messages and statements on social media, like from Nike, Sephora, Starbucks. I mean, you name it. The big box brands decided to make a statement, make a message about, Black Lives Matter, about George Floyd, about, you know, um, about other people, Breonna Taylor, Ahmed Aubrey. I mean, the fact that there's a list baffles me, And what was it about George Floyd that made people realize, oh my God, there is an issue with, Black people being killed by police brutality? Like, this has been going on, and it's nothing new that I'm telling you. I know you guys know this information, but it's just baffles me how another Black man had to die, you know, and oh my God, it's like, I don't even know what to say because it's like, I'm so like just beyond. Anyways, okay, I need to get back to the groove. Anyways, at the end of the day, they made a statement, okay? Let's just go past the whole thing of what took them so long. They made a statement. But it's almost like they're making the same statement on social media. They're making the same statement on their website. They probably sent out an internal email to the employees. And then they're saying, we're going to make a donation to local organizations that fight, equality and people of color. And, all of these organizations that rightfully so are fighting, racial and systemic police brutality. So I get that. But how are these brands making a change by doing that? Like, it's almost like saying, again, and we've heard this a lot of times, our thoughts and prayers are with you, right? And it's just like, okay, that's great. But what are we going to do to make that change, right? Like, how many people have to die for us to know that there's a problem with this within an administration, within a police administration, the school system, just in general? It's just like, we don't want your thoughts and prayers no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do to make that change? Like, how many people have to die to continue to make a change for this, So again, I kind of felt like definitely a statement had to be made because I feel that consumers had to know where organizations land. And at the end of the day, we have the purchasing power. So I'm pretty sure these organizations, if they were smart enough, were able to make a statement, because when you make a statement, that boat has already sailed. It's almost like you made a statement and you don't deserve a pat on the back because that should have been like known already that you need to make a statement, right? So again, that's how brands were responding with regards to Black Lives Matter. And oh my God, you guys. No, I accidentally blooper alert. Okay, so my computer shut off and I just clicked on it to make sure that I knew what the time was. And I clicked on stop recording. So you're going to see me say this all over again. And I only wrote some of it down. So some of it's going to come on the podcast and some of it's not. So whatever. But this is why I don't like recording, because shit like this happens. And again, I'm human, so I knew it was going to happen. But I shouldn't put the mouse on the record now button. So note to self, don't put the mouse on the record button. Okay, so let me restart this again. Damn, you guys. Well, anyways, that kind of episode, like in the beginning, I was trying to say something and I couldn't figure it out. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise that I had to start all over. So maybe I will switch it up on that part where I talk about big box organizations or whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what I come up with, because I literally just from the dome, I'm saying what I need to say and I just have my notes. So, okay. You guys, I'm hella sweating too. And I have my hair up in a bun. I was going to put my hair down and I was like, no, I'm cool. Okay, so here we go. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Christina, and you are listening to our Marketing Homegirl podcast. So, on this episode, episode 13, I want to talk to you guys about how brands are responding to social and political movements, and most importantly, how consumers, us as consumers, are reacting to their quote unquote statements, messages, decisions, etc. So, let's get to it because I have hella shit to say. So, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is how are brands responding specifically to the Black Lives Matter movement, and just in general about the social movements that are going on throughout the nation, really. And one thing that I was able to kind of take a look at, of course, was social media, right? So big brand corporations, I'm talking about Nike, Sephora, Starbucks, you know, Target, all of these organizations um, decided to write a statement on their social media pages, right? And rightfully so, they should, but they shouldn't receive a pat on the back because you wrote a statement on social media, right? Um, Especially if you employ Black people, especially if your consumers are Black people. And it's not even just Black people, it's people of color. You know what I'm saying? All types of nationalities are under your employment and are also your consumers. And you made a statement. Okay, great. But what else are you going to do to, what else are you going to do within your company to make a change, right? So I kind of felt like social media, the statement that they made was more of they checked a box. Like, I posted it on social media, check. I posted it on my website, check. I sent an internal email to employees, check. um I donated money to a local organization that battles, racism and police brutality, check. But your company is still the same company. You know what I'm saying? You have to make change within your company. And I'm going to talk about later what that means. But I've had a conversation with a lot of my friends, like deep conversations with Black women, with Latina women, with Asian women, on how they feel, all types of women, really, white women, on how they feel about the Black Lives Matter movement, about, what's going on. This was not going on 3 months ago. And I shouldn't say not going on, because Black people have always been, a victim of police brutality, but it wasn't an awareness at it what as it is now. I feel like a lot of people are woke, right? Like woke real quick on what's going on. Um so now it's like we have this platform, they have this platform um on, like, hey, we've been saying this, we've been talking about this has been going on for decades, and um now that brands are responding to it, I notice that brands almost want like a pat on the back again for saying that, but I don't think that they should. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's just a box you checked, but there's other ways that you can contribute to make change within our society. Um, so again, that's how brands are responding, is on social media, on their property website. I'm sorry, not their property website, I'm thinking of like real estate mode. On their website, on their internal emails to employees, donations to local organizations. That's all fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. Absolutely do that. Like, we need that for sure. But the conversation goes on. The marathon must go on. You know what I'm saying? So, number two, how brands can make a change. It goes beyond making a statement and donating money. Sorry, not sorry, but that's real talk. It's all about giving us, people of color, women of color, a seat at the table, and I'm talking about the executive table, and look at Reddit, for example. The co-founder resigns his position as a board member, a white man, and says, you know what? This is my company. I'm the co-founder, and you're absolutely right. We need more people of color on the board, and I will give up my seat for someone in hopes that someone, a person of color, takes over, my board seat. And this is the co-founder of this company. This is Serena Williams' husband. This is a white man who has a black daughter who has to talk to his kid and say, hey, when you were 2, 3 years old, this is what's going on in the world, and this is what I did to make that change. That's why he did it, you guys. I mean, everybody was like, all this talk online and all this chatter of like, oh, why did he do that? Why did he take his, why did he get down on his company or step down from his company? Like, that's hella dumb. No, that's not hella dumb. That's hella smart. That's hella woke. That's hella real. Like, he's showing America, like, hey, this is what we need to do to make change. And I will be that example. And if he's the only one, well, then he makes history from being the only one. But at the end of the day, that's a decision that he made, and I super applaud him. And I apologize, I did not write his name, but look up the co-founder of Reddit, gave up, board seat, within Reddit. Look up Serena Williams' husband, and you will see exactly who I'm talking about. But another thing was that Netflix appoints Bozoma St. John as Chief Marketing Officer. We have a black marketing homegirl, people, on Netflix. And Netflix was like, and that's the one thing that I noticed about Netflix was as soon as all this was happening with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protest was going on, I noticed that Netflix and even Amazon, the first thing they did was they posted like all of the movies that are black cinema about black history. And at first I didn't know how I felt about that. I was just kind of like, okay, the only reason why you're doing this is because of this. But then had they not done that, I probably would have been talking shit and say, damn, Netflix didn't do this or Amazon didn't do this. So I get it. Like, I actually ended up watching a lot of movies, black cinema, black history, and it just kind of brought back, memories of when I was going to SF State and I was watching all, history being made within the Bay Area about the Chicano movement, about the kids walking out in East LA. There's a movie called Walkout, if you guys haven't seen it. I was watching the 1968 Olympics, in Mexico, and there was a protest in Mexico, and the black athletes saw that, they were just like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's all this protest? Like, they were very aware about what's going on because they were living it in their own country in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just interesting to see actual footage. I only read, books about it or articles about it. So it was nice to see actual film from, the track and field athletes, that created the Black Power awareness, with the fists in the air. So again, I had a different take on it at first, but I actually ended up loving it. And I appreciate that Netflix and Amazon did do that. And so I hope that, Bozoma, and I apologize if I'm not, saying her name correctly, but I know that she definitely has, or she's going to have, some good, marketing decisions to make when it comes to promoting, Black history, Latino history, people of color history, just our history in general. Previously, she was the head of global consumer brand officer at Uber. And I remember seeing an article, and I don't recall if she was the first Black woman. But, she's definitely creating her own lane, and she's definitely out there to make change. So I give it up to her. That's my marketing homegirl. That's my homegirl hero right there. And then most recently, Zoom hires Damian Hooper Campbell as the first chief diversity officer. And he was previously at eBay, Uber, and Google. So the fact that he was able to be in tech, and continue in tech, because Zoom, look at Zoom now, we're all on Zoom calls, completely night and day exploded. Um, and so, again, these are companies that are like, okay, we definitely need some diversity on our executive table, you know? And just to tell you a little bit about Bay Love Marketing, which is my marketing company, is I do real estate marketing and I do, small business marketing, but I feel like that was such a niche, right? Like, okay, everybody does that. And what sets me apart? And then I started thinking about how, um, certain clients that I've had are targeting a certain audience. And I'm not saying targeting as far as like they only want to, promote to a certain race. It's not even about that. It's more about like understanding your consumer, not being ignorant, to be honest with you, like just, learning about your consumer, about their culture, about their values. And I definitely provide that type of insight and research for my clients. And so that's why I kind of changed the motto, or I changed the type of marketing that I provide. I definitely provide cross-cultural or multicultural, I'm sure you guys heard, marketing to my clients, and sometimes, they want to talk about, or they want to promote it in a certain way, and I'm just kind of like, no, but like there's a specific audience that appeal to this t-shirt brand, or to the food that you're serving, or the time of day that your customers walk in. I mean, all that has to do with cross-cultural marketing. It has to do with the baby boomers and the Gen Zs and the Gen Y and the millennials and all that stuff. Like, I totally get that stuff. And so that's why I changed kind of the direction that Bay Love Marketing was going, is more towards cross-cultural marketing, is what I like to call it. So I'm sorry I had to give myself a little plug, but it absolutely has to align with what we're talking about, because this is what brands are doing now. They're thinking, okay, we need some diversity on the executive board. Maybe we need to hire a marketing company with diversity. Like, we don't understand a particular audience, or we don't know this audience, and so help us understand that. And that's okay. It's okay to say, hey, I'm going to have diversity training for my team, including myself, including the executive board. It's okay to say we need more diversity at the seat of the table. Like, that should be okay. Like, the color of my skin or my nationality should have no effect on whether I can do my job or not. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that is the truth. I mean, just recently, the Crown Act, barely 1 year old, the Crown Act, where Black women are allowed to express and wear their hair naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, that had to be a law. Can you believe that, you guys? That's freaking crazy. That has to be a law. Like, I have hella hair, and there were times where I would always straighten my hair to go to job interviews. I'm not even lying, you guys. And there was one point where I was just like, fuck this. I'm going to go with my curly hair. I'm going to go with curly hair with red lipstick. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to wear hoops. They hire me, cool. If not, then I know how it is. And I got hired, but it wasn't until a previous employer that I was working at, same industry, during my review, had another employee, which happened to be my assistant manager at the time, tell me that I couldn't wear hoop earrings, told me that I couldn't have a tattoo, told me that I couldn't, I should tame my hair. Like, she didn't say it like that, but it sounded like she wanted to tell me that, to be honest with you. And I freaked out. Mind you, I'm like 20, 22 years old. And I was just like, fuck that. Like, who is she to tell me how I need to dress? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. Like, I wanted her to say it, but she didn't, obviously. And my response to that employer was that, well, it's not in the handbook. And you can't tell me how I need to wear my hair or how I need to dress. later on, they ended up putting it in the handbook, and I still questioned it. I was like, I don't think if you want me to wear a certain type of clothing, then you should give me money to buy clothes. And they gave me an expense. And so, again, I was even 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I was still fighting for my own rights. You know what I'm saying? I was still fighting my rights as a Latina to like dress the way I wanted to dress and wear my hair the way I wanted to wear my hair the way I wanted to wear it. But again, going back to what we're talking about, do you see how easily I can just kind of like think of shit and then tell you guys? Because I have hell shit to say. It's just like, it's just amazing how we're all, it all ties together as to what's going on. So again, give us a seat at the table, boo. Like, we deserve a seat at the table. And if we don't get a seat at the table, it's okay. Create your own company where you're the seat at the table. And that's exactly what I did, and I'm definitely thinking of ways to expand my business. I've always been a person with, that love diversity and love different cultures. And so this was not an issue to me, but it does make you more aware. Like, yeah, I definitely would like, some diversity in my culture, not just all Latina, not just all women, like I know I talk to you guys as like, hey, homegirl, or hey, what's up? But I have homeboys too that are doing the damn thing, like homeboys that have their side hustle, their main hustle, they're definitely been through hella shit and they're paving waves. So I'm sorry, fellas, if I leave you guys out, but that's not my intention. But again, create your own lane, create your own table, and it gives you an opportunity how you will be as a CEO, as a founder. Think about ways how you can make a change within your own organization. So again, just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. Number 3, that was like long ass number 2, I know that, sorry. But number 3, how are we reacting as consumers? So at the end of the day, we hold the purchasing power. And if these brands don't align with our social values, then we have a choice not to do business with this company, right? I mean, do you agree? What do you guys think? Like, am I tripping, or are we on the same page here? But all I know is that we can change this narrative, right? We can support local businesses in our community. We can support, again, your homegirl, your homeboy, who has that side hustle, that main hustle. We can buy their products. We can use their services. We need to support our local economy because shit is getting too real, people, with COVID. And a lot of our people who have worked hard, to come to this country or to even come up, in the Bay Area, are being affected on all fronts of the virus, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, so please, if you can, support your local community, shop local. Again, I really think that this should make you kind of re-strategize your buying power, your decision power. I know I definitely made a lot of shifts. I'm not fully unattached to Target. One thing that I did do was stop shopping at Starbucks or getting Starbucks. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I got a gift card for Starbucks and I was like, damn, she bought me a gift card from Starbucks. And for the long time, I didn't use it. And I mean long time, like a couple days, right? Because I would literally go to Starbucks like every day. But when they didn't allow their employees not to wear the Black Lives Matter movement or their Black Lives Matter, pin or whatever it is that they wanted to express themselves as a Black person supporting a Black movement, that rubbed me the wrong way, you guys. I'm not even playing. Like, I was like, nope. I would go into Target and my daughter would be like, oh, let's get Starbucks. And I would literally say it out loud and be like, nope, we're not supporting Starbucks because they don't allow people to express themselves or support, the Black Lives Matter movement. And my daughter, she's 7, and she looked at me like, what? And I said, we're not buying Starbucks today. And she was just like, okay. And she kept on walking. And I was like, okay, how do I say it in simpler terms for my daughter? But now I'm bringing my 3-year-old son, and now he wants like a cake pop and he wants an apple juice. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to have to get rid of this gift card eventually. So I bought things for my kids, you guys, because they're little and they're innocent and they don't know right now. So I did finish the gift card. I'll be the first one to tell you. But I didn't want to feel like a poser because I did post shit on Instagram and say, like boycott Starbucks and do this and do that. So again, I'll be the first one to tell you that I did buy a little bit of Starbucks for my kids, but all is well. Gift card is over. I have not bought Starbucks with my own money. I drove to Dutch Bros, to try them out. I tried a local business here in my hometown, and I definitely shop local. So again, that's just my choice. That's something that, I love coffee, but I also love supporting local businesses. And so I definitely choose to shop elsewhere when it comes to coffee. I bought a Keurig, a cute teal Keurig, for myself. So I bought, Colombian coffee. So again, those are the changes that I'm making as a consumer. I'm not perfect, but I definitely will find a way, slowly but surely to make adjustments, within my household. Again, your decision on how you want to support and not support a company, but I think right now is our time to, to have that mental discussion with yourself, on what changes you want to make. But before I end this episode, I absolutely have to talk about Vanessa Guillen. This one hit me hard, folks, like for real. How are you guys reacting to what's going on? Because I'm a hot mess. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I saw, the video of her mom pleading, begging for her daughter's safe return, and then I saw her little sister, I mean, she's a badass. She was just out there. Like, at first she had the mask and she's like, fuck this mask, my sister's not a joke. Like, this is not a joke. I mean, I feel her. Like, she was just no filter. She gave you what she had to say, and I felt her 1000%. And don't get me wrong, I was pissed about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all these other people. Like, that also hit me hard. But Vanessa Guillen hit me like on a whole new level. I mean, this is a woman, a Latina woman who decided to join the military to fight for our rights, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got cousins in the military right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? And if they went missing, I would die. Like, I would be out there like, you don't understand. Like, I just talked to my cousin. I saw him on Instagram, or he sent me a message. Like, you don't understand. Like, I would fight with you guys, and they know me too. And we have a little inside joke where they call me Debo because I'm just crazy. But seriously, like, I will literally fight for them. So the fact that I saw Vanessa Guillen's mom and her sister, oh my God, I just broke down. I couldn't even do it. Like, I couldn't even finish watching the video. I had to like watch it at another time within my feed because it was just a lot for me. But these are basic rights, you guys. Like, I don't think what she was asking for is out of the ordinary, like, hey, all I want you to do is investigate my sister's disappearance. I just talked to her. She came over. She said she was sexually assaulted or sexually harassed, by a military personnel. All I'm asking is for you to do the investigation. But what they do, they turn a blind eye. They cleaned out her bunker. They try to make up some bullshit, how they have no evidence of sexual harassment. Man, that's fucking bullshit. Like, real talk. And so, again, that like just hit me to the core. And it also, there was news articles or there was like information coming up about how like her remains were found and it possibly was her. The suspect committed suicide. Now the girlfriend is in jail. I mean, there was so much. It felt like a telenovela, dude, like straight up. And the news media didn't say shit about it. Like, I was on channel surfing on all our major news channels and they didn't say shit about her. I was watching some bullshit about Trump and some bullshit about COVID and some bullshit about fireworks. And it was just like stupid shit. Like, I didn't want to hear about that. I wanted to hear about Vanessa Guillen, even if it was like, developing news, whatever it is. Like, we don't have all the information, but in the morning we're going to find out more. Whatever it is, I see all these little promotional news, information about some stupid ass shit about what trails to visit and what restaurants are open. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I want to know about Vanessa Guillen. So again, that was me personally. I was definitely into my feelings the other day. If you saw my Instagram stories, I was just like, what the fuck? Where's she at? Like, why are you not talking about her? Oh my God. I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I had a mental breakdown on the 4th of July. It was just hella shit going on. So, newscast stations are kind of on my shit list right now. Like, I'm not really giving them much attention. I'm not really watching the news anymore. Like, I'm just kind of like doing my own research because this is ridiculous, like her life should matter. You know what I'm saying? And what pisses me off is that a lot of people are, we're tripping about Colin Kaepernick and like, oh, he's disrespecting the flag. I have people in the military. Why is he kneeling down? Okay, boo. Where's your protest now when someone from the military, has disappeared, and, those are possibly her remains. Where's your protest now? Where's you're disrespecting the flag. Like, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't report none of that, but you report Colin Kaepernick kneeling down for the billionth time because he wanted to create awareness on police brutality. Yes, we know that, and we're with him. So what's your point? You're not going to change your mind. So again, I'm getting worked up, you guys. It's a lot. It's a lot to go through. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot. And so at the end of the day, I'm just over it. I think we're all over it. I definitely feel like there's a handful, not even a handful. I'd probably say like about 24 Instagram pages that I follow that are on the same page as me, dude. Like, fuck the bullshit. I'm gonna call you out. You're a fake IG page. You're a fake personnel. Hey, you're not giving credit to this artist. Let's call this person out. Protect our street vendors. We're going to do a protest for Vanessa Guillen. Arrest the cops for Breonna Taylor. I mean, come on, you guys. Like, I just love all of the unity and togetherness that we're all creating on social media that otherwise wouldn't be available. Like, I don't know half these people, but I'm like, yeah, girl, I feel you. Like, absolutely, call them out. Like, I'll boycott them. I'll boycott them too. Shit, like, I don't give a fuck. So I definitely was on that hype. I'm still on that hype. Do you guys see how hyped I am? I'm like super hyped. But anyways, I have to get back to my program. But again, more than ever, we need to stay connected. We need to unite together, stand up as a community, speak our minds to the shit we want to see change in our society. And I hope at the end of the day, you guys don't see this as a rant. This is real talk. This is real talk, Christina. For those who know me, know that I will say it how it is. Like my tia says, Rafla. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely going to say it. And this episode was has been brewing to the max, you guys. So here's what you can expect for your Marketing Homegirl podcast, you guys. I definitely have some marketing episodes lined up from LinkedIn, TikTok, Quora, Reddit, Glassdoor, starting a podcast. As you can see, I do have marketing shit, but it's just, I had to say something about what's going on right now. It's just like, it would be a disservice if I didn't use my community activism on my podcast, But one thing I do want to share with you guys is I want to get a little bit personal with you guys. I definitely want to share just real homegirl stuff, like things that I'm going through, like motherhood. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get on a diet. I cannot get on that hype for the life of me. So if you guys can help me out, tell me the best tips, I would appreciate that. Skincare, makeup. A couple years ago, I got diagnosed with alopecia. So I'm losing, like, I have a couple of bald spots, within my head. Just, my obsession with Frida, working from home with the kids. It's cray. I mean, let me tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot. As you can see, there's hella stuff I want to talk about. But on Fridays, I want to make it a little bit just, more about me, more homegirl talk, just more real. So look forward to that. I'm gonna reach out to you guys on Instagram about that, but my time's running out. I definitely see that Anchor's telling me that I got like 40 seconds to end my episode. But again, thank you guys for listening to me. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna create a separate post where you guys can leave your feedback. But again, I hope you guys liked it. I hope, it makes you guys think about how to, make decisions as a consumer. I hope you guys are well and healthy, and I will talk to you later. All right, then, folks, take care. Bye. Woo! Oh my God, I was freaking out because Anchor was like 29 and 10 seconds, 29 and 50 seconds. And so Anchor gives you like 30 minutes for free. And it's just like, oh my God, for the life of me, it's just like I was in the middle of my podcast. I think it was my guest podcast with Nicole from Epiphania Magazine. And like during the middle of our thing, like, because we had a lot to say and it was more like engaging and stuff, like we stopped and I had to start all over. And it was just like, I didn't realize I only had 30 minutes. So again, that was, it was a fun episode. I don't know. What you guys think? It's hard to stay on script, which is why I don't really write a script, because I definitely want to say things how they are and how I feel and just shit that I think about. I have more of like an agenda, a timeline, as to what I want to say. As you can see, it's like, I started off cool. Then here's my big paragraph. But at the end of the day, I think it was good. You got the realness of me. That's what it is, So yeah, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't edit my episodes. So what you guys saw is what you guys will see. So I'm literally just going to post it online and like create a title, create the keywords, do all that good stuff, have a little background music. And then that's it. That's all of the information on my episode. So, all right then, folks, I've been talking too long, and I want to thank you guys for your support. Thank you for watching, and I will try to record my next episode. I don't know which episode I'm going to do yet because I kind of do it on the fly, but I just have some topics that I like to discuss about. So, but see you on the next one. All right then, folks, take care. Bye.